Joining us live now is Dr. Isaac Bogosh, infectious diseases specialist at Toronto General Hospital. Dr. Bogosh, good to see you. How was your long weekend, Thanksgiving?
It was fantastic, thank you. How was yours?
Not bad, not bad. We ate a bird, you know, every year, kind of just like the previous.
Great.
Okay, well, let's get to what we're talking about this morning, because this does change week to week. Hopefully not for anything, you know, too scary. But the U.S. Centers for Disease Control issued some updated information on the Oropouche. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Virus, is that how you say it?
Oropouche.
Oropouche. Wow, I really butchered that. Oropouche virus. And a reminder for viewers: this virus is spread to people by infected biting midges and some mosquito species, as has been spreading in the Americas and tropical climates, but we now know it can cause complications in pregnancy, and it sounds like this also has potential to be sexually transmitted to as well.
Yeah. So just as a reminder, this is a virus, Oropouche virus, that's been known to exist in the Amazon area for decades. This year, there's a big outbreak of it, and they're seeing more and more of this virus in countries that previously never reported it, including Cuba, which is a place where many Canadians like to travel. And we know that there's early signs. It's fair to say that we don't have all the information, but there's early signs and early indications that this infection can cause complications during pregnancy. So it's important that people who are pregnant or who are thinking about becoming pregnant avoid getting this infection. And it's from, as you pointed out, from biting midges and some types of mosquitoes. So, you know, good practice to put on mosquito repellent if you're traveling to these areas, because there's not just Oropouche virus, there's other insect transmitted infections as well, dengue, fever, and in many of these countries, malaria. But to your point as well, there's some emerging data that this virus can be transmitted sexually. There's a single case report of this, and of course, this will be looked at further. People might remember many years back during the big Zika virus outbreak in 2015 and 2016, initially transmitted by mosquitoes. It was also transmitted sexually as well. And we might see this as a theme with Oropouche virus. But the key point here is many Canadians like to travel to Latin America and the Caribbean. This virus is circulating there. Put on some insect repellent. Chat with a healthcare provider before you go, because there might be some other advice you might need depending on the country you go to, such as malaria prophylaxis, and have a great trip.
Yeah, okay, very good advice there, Dr. Bogosh. Turning now to bird flu, 6 human cases connected to dairy farms are now confirmed in California. 100 dairy herds in Central California have reported confirmed cases of bird flu in cattle, with nearly 300 herds across 14 states having confirmed bird flu cases. So have we managed to dodge a bullet here in Canada?
So far, but we know that infectious diseases know no political boundaries, and fortunately, our dairy herds have not had these infections that the Americans have. There's a very large outbreak in American dairy cows. Multiple states, multiple herds within multiple states impacted. This has been going on for months and months. What California is doing that many other places aren't doing is they're actively seeking human infections by screening people who have close contact. And lo and behold, they're finding human cases, which kind of isn't surprising if you have close contact with an infected cow. What's interesting is the cases that they've identified have been on the mild end of the spectrum. That's not a reason to get relaxed about this, because we know from 20 years of data with H5N1 avian influenza that this can cause a very, very severe infection in some. The key here is this outbreak has to be quelled sooner rather than later. Otherwise, it's going to continue to grumble along. It impacts dairy cows. It can impact people who work with dairy cows. And we don't want this virus to mutate and become more readily transmitted from non-human mammals to humans or among non-human mammals, because we know it can be a deadly virus. And we don't need that. We don't want that. We don't need that. And we should be taking all steps to avoid that.
For sure. Yeah, that could be a potentially very scary situation. Dr. Bogosh, always appreciate your time. Have a great week, and we'll chat with you again soon. Take care.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.